Hey guys, this is Olga and welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be doing a piercings video for you, telling you about the piercings I have, the pain tolerance, healing process, how to take care of them, and basically all the important information in between that I feel might be beneficial to you. Now, if there's any questions you may have that I may have not answered in this video, please leave them in the down bar below and I'll make sure to answer them for you. Okay, so altogether I have 10 piercings. I'll tell you what they are in chronological order. First off, I have my traditional lobes. Then I got my navel pierced. You guys all know what a navel piercing looks like, so I'm not going to bother to stand up for that. Then after that, I actually got my second lobes, my cartilage, and my navel re-pierced. And I got all of those done in one piercing session. After that, I got my industrial pierced. After that, my septum. And then my most recent one is my tragus over here. Now that is 10 piercings altogether. I count my industrial as 2 simply because it's 2 separate holes connected by 1 bar, or I can wear hoops in them to make them completely separate piercings. So as far as the healing process, with lobe piercings and actually with septum piercings, because they are very similar in healing, they take 4 to 6 weeks to heal. Now, the reason a septum piercing and a lobe piercing are similar when it comes to the healing process is because the skin of your lobe is the same thickness as the skin inside of your septum. If you put your fingers into your nose, like that part where your nostrils separate, that is your septum, that is the skin that gets pierced. So that is, the skin that you pierce when you get your septum done. Now, with cartilage piercings, an industrial piercing can take anywhere from a year to a year and a half, and a cartilage piercing, just your standard cartilage, can take anywhere from 6 months to a year or a year and a half to heal. It really all depends on your body and how your body reacts to the piercing and the healing process of your body. A navel piercing is very similar to a cartilage piercing in the sense of it does take a while to heal as well. Actually, the navel is one of the most sensitive areas on your body to get pierced, so it does take anywhere from 6 months to a year. I've actually heard some people, their navel piercings heal in 2 years. So it really all depends on you and on your body. When you have a fresh navel piercing, be careful about the clothes you wear. Try and wear loose clothes, and try to make sure that the zipper or the buttons on your pants are not rubbing against the jewelry on your navel piercing, because that will prolong the healing process. Now, as far as getting piercings, I first got my lobes pierced when I was 14. Now, the reason I waited a little longer to get my first piercing was because before I ever got a piercing, I was actually really afraid of needles. So when I got my ears pierced, I wasn't very knowledgeable when it comes to piercing care. And I ended up getting my ears pierced at the mall with a gun. Now let me tell you that getting your ears pierced with a gun, or really getting any part of your body pierced with a gun, is dangerous. Let me explain to you why. Now, when the jewelry shoots into your ear, or whatever part of your body you're getting pierced with a gun, I've actually heard some people getting their noses pierced with a gun. When the jewelry shoots in and it retracts your skin and your blood along with it. Now, although they do sterilize and clean the gun as much as they can, there's still blood and skin that is left way in the back of the gun. So initially what can happen is the next person that is getting pierced with that gun, the debris of the previous person can shoot into that person's body. So initially what's happening is you are risking getting hepatitis B. Now, I've heard people on YouTube say things like, you shouldn't get any piercings done with a gun except for ear piercings. Like, it's okay to get ear piercings done with a gun. That is false information. No piercing should be done with a gun. You don't want to risk your health for something as frivolous as a piercing. Like, don't do that. Be smart about your piercings. Don't get them with a gun. Don't do them by yourself in your bedroom with a safety pin. And don't go online and buy some piercing equipment and do them yourself. Unless you are a professional licensed piercer, you shouldn't be sticking any needles or any sharp objects through your body. Please be smart about it. Please go to a reputable piercing shop to get your piercings. Okay. Now, as far as taking care of your piercing, when it is new, or even when it isn't new, like anytime you feel you need to nurture it, like if it's infected or anything like that, or if it's new, you want to put sea salt solution on it. Now, I know that they sell sea salt solution, but in the aerosol can, but it can be a little bit expensive. So what I recommend is buying sea salt. You can buy it in your local grocery store or in your local health food store. No, please don't buy the bleached salt, like the regular table salt. It has bleach in it and it will irritate your piercing. You want sea salt. So you take your sea salt, you mix it with hot water. There's no particular measurement really. It all depends on what you like and what you can stand. Now, me personally, I like my sea salt solution to be very cloudy so that there's a thick amount of sea salt in there. Basically, you put it in like a spray bottle and you spray your piercing, as much as you can, so it's completely drenched by the sea salt solution. Now, you want to do that when your piercing is new. Do it 2-3 times a day until your piercing is healed. I know some people say you can do it for a couple weeks, but I recommend doing it until your piercing is healed. Also, another time when you want to use the sea salt solution is if you have an infection. If you, for example, if you feel some redness, some irritation, maybe it's a little bit swollen, your piercing, then spray some sea salt solution a couple times a day, 2, maybe 3 times a day. Make sure to do it before you go to bed. And in the morning, it should be fine. Sometimes it can take maybe, 2 to 3 days for the infection to go down completely. If that happens, it's okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. If you feel that your piercing might have a serious infection, and I mean, you know your body better than anyone. If you feel something is wrong, go to your piercer first. Go to your piercer, tell them what is going on, and they will tell you whether or not you should see a doctor, or maybe you just need an antibiotic. They'll let you know. Now, please don't take out your jewelry if you feel like there is something wrong. The reason for that being is when your jewelry is in your ear or in any part of your body, where whatever piercing you have, and you have an infection, the jewelry is trapping that infection. But when you take out the jewelry, you're spreading the infection up through your body. So if you have your lobes pierced and you have an infection, then if you take it out, the jewelry, the infection can potentially spread up your ear. You don't want that. You want your infection to stay in one place so that you can get rid of it. So please go to your piercer first if you feel like there's something wrong. As far as, just taking care of your piercing, even if it's old, even if you've had it for years, like any other part of your body, keep it clean. Just wash it every day. Use antibacterial soap, and if you need to, use sea salt spray. But whether your piercing is new or old, make sure to always use antibacterial soap, like when you're in the shower, if your piercing is new as well, and then just spray it with sea salt. If your piercing is old and you don't feel like you need the sea salt, then of course just use the antibacterial soap. Also, please, please, please don't touch your piercing if it's new, and don't touch your piercing if it's infected. I mean, I know this is kind of a simple thing, but we all have urges to touch our piercings, especially when they're new, but please don't. You don't want to risk infection. And if you must touch it, like when you're cleaning it, make sure to disinfect your hands first with that antibacterial soap. I think that's all I have to cover as far as, the care of a piercing. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.